The next wave of major releases is beginning to take shape, with several big projects aiming to define the years ahead. From long-awaited sequels to ambitious new IPs, a few titles are already standing out thanks to their scale, strong studios, and growing buzz. Let's take a closer look at these games. Persona 4 Revival is a story-driven RPG set in the rural town of Inaba, where players balance daily high school life with an investigation into a series of strange murders linked to a mysterious TV channel. Players manage time through classes, clubs, part-time jobs, and social links, which affect character growth. Combat takes place in a TV-based realm, using turn-based battles where exploiting enemy weaknesses, swapping personas, and triggering all-out attacks are key to progressing. POLYARIS is a first-person survival game set in the Arctic, where players control an engineer stranded after a nuclear disaster cuts off all contact with the outside world. Movement relies on skis and boats while managing cold exposure, clothing, hunger, thirst, and changing weather conditions. Players gather resources through looting, fishing, and crafting while dealing with threats such as polar bears, wolves, and hostile scavengers, with the main objective centered on staying alive and uncovering what happened. Intergalactic. The Heretic Prophet is an action-adventure game where players control bounty hunter Jordan A. Munn after she becomes stranded on the isolated planet Semperia while tracking the Five Aces Syndicate. Gameplay involves third-person combat against blade-wielding robots, navigation across a hostile environment, and uncovering information about the planet's history and religion. The design emphasizes solitary progression with limited ally support, combining cinematic storytelling with action systems inspired by earlier Naughty Dog titles.
Tell me something good.
Well, you're right, it checks out. He's hiding out around the Superior Moon.
Excellent.
How is that excellent? He's next to fucking Semperia. No one has left that planet in over 600 years. Anyone who even flies close to it has never heard from again.
Superstitions.
No. Superstitions are the crazy rumors about what happened on that planet. These are facts.
You worry too much.
You know what I worry just the right amount. I say we wait for him to leave, or how about we find a new lead? He's not worth it. I'm wasting my time, aren't I?
Can you please claim him? I don't need another hunter swooping in.
Who is swooping? No one is crazy enough to go there.
He clearly is.
He is clearly desperate.
And so am I, so claim him, or I will find another agent.
Anyone else with all your fucking shit? Okay, alright, you know what? There, you're the boss.
Thank you.
Listen, kid. I'll see you on the other side.
narrator and head of Yarn Hub, and what you're looking at right now is recordings from our recent playtests for our upcoming free-to-play game.
Brass Rain is a World War II shooter that places players in large-scale crew-based battles across land, air, and sea. Players can take roles such as infantry soldiers, tank crews, bomber gunners, or naval teams in both PvP and cooperative missions. Gameplay uses period weapons, uniforms, and vehicles while allowing players to unlock equipment and upgrades through historical campaigns. Success depends on teamwork, role coordination, and tactical awareness across different combat scenarios.
Everyone, not just Yarn Hub viewers, would recognize. As I mentioned, it's going to be free to play, and that doesn't mean pay to win. We're really working hard with the community to make sure that it's not a hellish grind like some free-to-play titles you may have played. We're going to have microtransactions, but the plan is not for them to give you a massive leg up in the game. It's a multiplayer game from the start, and of course you're seeing that now. It's going to be co-op as well, which is working together in tanks and eventually planes and ships. Of course, from the start, you'll be able to work together as infantry, which we'll have in every single version. And we've taken a lot from the video that we made on Point to Hawk, and that's something that you'll see consistently being done. Of course, the guns are far more accurate and mechanically correct than in our films. With films, we have to produce assets really quickly, but for the game, we can take a little bit more time over it. This also applies to uniforms and, of course, locations, which are balanced for gameplay. One of the new weapons that we're working on is the flamethrower. But we're not going to just cover well-known stories. What you're looking at right now is a brand new level that we're working on for Castleitter. Now, Yarn Hub fans and Sabaton fans will have probably heard of Castleitter. It's a great story for a game level. Basically, every side is fighting each other with different factions, and it's inside and outside of an old castle. If you like what you see and you want to get involved, we'd love you to wishlist and follow Brass Rain on Steam. We're planning early access for December 2026. And if you have anything to add, you can head over to the Discord today to get involved in the conversation, maybe even the playtests. The link's in the description.
Blind Descent is an open-world survival craft game set beneath the Martian surface, where players search for a missing expedition team while dealing with a reactive alien ecosystem. Gameplay includes resource gathering, researching life forms, crafting tools, and building shelters that must be maintained against environmental threats. Players use climbing gear to navigate hazardous terrain and can gain mutation-based abilities from alien organisms, with optional cooperative play supporting team-based survival and base management. EverRail is a survival craft game set in a frozen procedural environment where players operate a moving train that functions as both transport and life support system. Gameplay revolves around managing energy, heat, and upgrades while gathering resources through on-foot expeditions, glider scouting, and drone use. Players can redesign train interiors, craft equipment, and recruit passengers who act as extra lives. Solo and cooperative play support role-based teamwork during resource runs and dungeon encounters.
hold young thoughtless men, award and take by me, and never leave your happy home.
Windrose is a PvE survival adventure set during an alternative age of piracy, where players command a ship and fight both on land and at sea. Gameplay includes building shelters and forts, gathering resources, crafting equipment, and managing a growing crew or settlement. Combat uses a soul slight system with melee weapons and firearms, alongside naval battles featuring cannon fire and boarding actions. Solo and cooperative play support shared progression across a procedurally generated environment.
Tyndalston.
Samson is an action-adventure game set in the city of Tyndalston, where players control a fighter trying to clear a growing debt while protecting his sister. Gameplay combines close-quarters brawler combat with high-speed vehicle action, allowing players to use momentum, terrain, and cars as weapons during missions and pursuits. An action point system limits daily activities, while law response and quotas increase pressure, and character upgrades shape both hand-to-hand fighting and driving abilities.
You can't outrun debt. You can't freeze interest. You can curl up and die in the street. Or you can fight the fuck back.
Greenfield is a story-driven puzzle platformer set on a mysterious island facility where players navigate environments representing a fractured subconscious. Gameplay revolves around solving environmental puzzles, traversing symbolic memory spaces, and gaining abilities from strange technology to access new areas. Players also encounter large mechanical bosses that require pattern-based strategies. Progression ties together platforming challenges and narrative discovery as players search for answers behind the central mystery. Breathedge 2 is a first-person space survival game where players manage a crew while trying to confront a powerful space corporation. Gameplay includes crafting tools, maintaining life support, and upgrading a customizable spaceship used to travel between star systems. Players can pilot vehicles in space and on planetary surfaces while dealing with hostile enemies and environmental dangers. Crew members have individual roles and needs that affect ship efficiency, making management an important part of long-term survival.
The corrosion upon the planet. A ravening blight that would slowly turn everything it touched into nightmarish caricatures of themselves.
Edge of Memories is an action RPG where players control Elin, a soul whisperer fighting the corrosion that mutates living beings across the continent of Avaris. Combat centers on chaining fast strikes with powerful abilities, coordinating with customizable allies, and activating a berserker transformation for heavy damage. Players travel across varied regions on a Nekaru mount, while story progression alters previously visited areas, linking character growth with battles against increasingly dangerous corrupted enemies.
A child playing at greater things.
A black beast. So that's who I am now.
This is the corrosion's only known law: to gather and grow. To unite its corruption into one putrid mass and create the biggest, baddest, and ugliest of monsters. What price would be acceptable to pay in order to rid the world of the corrosion.
Exoborne is an open-world tactical extraction shooter set in a region devastated by extreme natural disasters, where players enter high-risk sessions to gather resources and escape safely. Gameplay revolves around customizing exo-rigs that grant mobility and combat advantages while adapting to dynamic weather such as tornadoes and lightning storms. Players must manage encounters with hostile factions and other squads while deciding when to fight or withdraw, with progression tied to successfully extracting valuable loot.
Storm rising. Only the strongest can thrive. Chaos reigns. If they think this is the end of the world, Reborn, put on your exo and prove them wrong.
Over there! We gotta move!
Come on, let's go!
Lost Hellden is an action JRPG set in the world of Era, where players control a group of 8 customizable characters tied to the 7 deadly sins. The game uses a phased battle system that mixes real-time actions with turn-based commands, supported by elemental skills, summons, and timing bonuses. Players can assign jobs, upgrade abilities, and equip gear to shape party roles, while dynamic weather and optional activities like the Hexagon card game add variety to progression. Neo Berlin 2087 is an action role-playing detective thriller set in a cyberpunk version of Berlin, where players control Nolan as he investigates the murder of the police chief while protecting the victim's daughter. Gameplay allows switching between first and third-person perspectives, combining shooting, stealth, and investigative mechanics such as hacking into suspects' minds for clues. Players also travel through the city and surrounding wasteland, upgrading weapons and abilities to handle human enemies and rogue machines.
The pain still feels real.
Neo Berlin, what do I really know about it? She's like you. She needs your help.
I followed every thread, reconstructed memories. None of it fits.
You think you're solving the case. This is so much bigger. What if the case is you?
The world only works with order. Without order, chaos breaks out. It's out of balance and we must restore it. Do you understand that, Nolan?
Yes.
Replaced is a narrative-driven 2.5D action platformer set in an alternate 1980s America, where players control Reach, an AI trapped in a human body investigating the Phoenix Corporation. Gameplay combines running, climbing, and combat using chained melee strikes and ranged attacks during side-scrolling encounters. Players move through districts and industrial zones while uncovering story details tied to identity and control, supported by handcrafted pixel visuals and cinematic presentation.
The castle has been sighted again.
Bloodstained: The Scarlet Engagement is a 2.5D action RPG set in 16th century England, where players control Leo and Alex as they confront demonic forces linked to Demon Lord Elias. Gameplay combines side-scrolling combat, character progression, crafting, and cooking systems, with the Epiphany combat system unlocking new moves during battles. The buddy system allows coordinated actions between both heroes to solve traps and defeat enemies, while a large map with a day-night cycle changes how players approach different areas.
Beasts that defy reason. Creatures born of pure darkness.
Mountain blossom! Die on jaw!
With me! Cross
Reaper! Tonight, we start our mission!
So you've come, dogs of the church, right into the palm of my hand.
Armatus is a third-person roguelite shooter set in the ruined streets of Paris, where players control the last warrior of a supernatural order searching for the Sunless Gate. Gameplay revolves around repeated combat runs using firearms, a scythe, and celestial abilities against increasingly dangerous demons. Each defeat resets the run while preserving progression through passive upgrades and new powers, encouraging players to refine builds and push deeper into procedurally structured encounters. Supreme Experiment is a first-person action-adventure set in a future where machines have formed their own society after humans retreated to towering cities. Players descend to the surface to investigate why automated systems stopped working, using firearms, hacking, and environmental interaction to survive. The game includes a fractured reality system that unlocks a parallel dimension through the player's neural implant, adding layered navigation and puzzle elements while uncovering the central mystery.
A new species. Trying to survive, fighting for scraps, searching for truth. An abandoned, poisoned wasteland, crawling with creatures beyond imagination. Down here, humans don't belong. For those who left the city, it's a one-way ticket. But they go for a reason. This evolution of the machines was not random. There's something vast behind it. It's coming for everyone, not just the machines. The people in the cities don't know it yet, but soon they will.
Lucid Falls is an action-adventure horror game set inside a lucid dream, where players manipulate gravity, space, and time to survive shifting nightmare environments. Gameplay mixes reality-bending puzzles with combat against hostile creatures that appear throughout the dreamscape. Players navigate unstable spaces to uncover hidden paths while gradually revealing the mystery behind the dream, with cinematic presentation and environmental changes playing a central role in progression. Glory to the Heroes is a tactical FPS set during the Russian-Ukrainian War, featuring single-player missions and PvPvE multiplayer with combined arms combat. Players take roles such as rifleman, driver, artillery operator, or drone pilot across large-scale battles recreated from real locations. Gameplay includes squad coordination, resource management, constructible defenses, destructible environments, and detailed weapon handling. Health does not regenerate, requiring medical treatment, while weather, time cycles, and logistics systems influence each engagement.
Welcome to the last Crimson Desert Features overview video.
Crimson Desert is an open-world action-adventure set on the continent of Pywell, where players control Cliff as he works to reunite the scattered Greymanes. Gameplay combines fast-paced melee and ranged combat with elemental abilities, alongside activities such as resource gathering, crafting, hunting, and mounted travel. Players traverse varied regions using climbing, gliding, and mystical gates while taking on large battles, boss encounters, and faction-driven conflicts tied to the central storyline.
Your journey will be anchored by the Greymane Camp, a stretch of land in Hernan that serves as the faction's new base after Payloon is lost to the Black Bears.
Grab them! Find them all!
Its beginnings may be humble, but over time, you'll be able to expand the camp with funds and resources that you acquire on your travels. With these upgrades, the camp will become more than just a place to rest. Here, you can prepare for the journeys ahead. Prepare meals at camp that will keep up your health.
It's about time you got hungry.
Or purchase provisions from the camp vendor. You can also go a step further and produce the resources needed for cooking and crafting yourself by working the camp's ranch and farm. A helpful option when resources are in short supply.
So this is home now, eh?
The camp is also the foothold for rebuilding the Greymane faction, and building it is the starting point in the journey to reclaiming the Greymane's lost homeland of Pelune. The comrades you reunite with along your journey will come here to regroup, while others will hear news of the camp and arrive of their own accord. These Greymanes can take on several roles. They can be dispatched to locations across Pywell where missions can be found. Having your comrades complete these missions will grant you with currency and resources such as wood and ore, and materials required for cooking and alchemy. Greymanes can also be dispatched to blockaded locations and help to whittle down enemy ranks even while you're in other parts of Pywell. Your journey will inevitably take you to the villages, towns, and cities of Pywell's various regions. Here, shops and vendors offer everything from daily provisions to a range of equipment and materials. A blacksmith can forge a new weapon to replace the one you've carried since Hernand, while a tailor ensures you're properly outfitted for the journeys ahead.
Oh, your wardrobe tells your story.
But commerce is only one part of life.
I'll do the same for you someday. This is for you. Good health to you. My words of praise must seem shallow.
There are residents here who are in need of someone to hear their requests. Some may need protection from bandits. Others may ask you to deliver goods or help track down a missing person. These stories unfold alongside the region's larger tales, offering a glimpse into the everyday lives of those who live in Pywell. Spend a little time in these locations and soak in the atmosphere. Meet residents, both good and bad. Catch whispers of rumors from the locals, or engage in lighter diversions along the way. Just be mindful of the law. Harmful actions can turn residents and guards hostile, making travel more difficult as you're forced to fight your way through, pay fines, or even serve time in jail. Beyond the towns and cities, you'll also encounter people and come upon locations that draw you into new adventures. Like a town hidden away, home to some unusual residents.
I don't think. Let's move them.
Or locations that, whether through mechanical or mystical means, require fixing. So take in life apart from the battles and wilderness of Pywell and explore its towns, cities, and beyond. They can provide resources, new stories, or even just moments of levity in your journey. Cooking will be one of your essential activities. Food can replenish or temporarily strengthen your health, spirit, and stamina, giving you the edge in exploration or battle. Along your travels, you'll find bonfires and cooking recipes that allow you to prepare hearty meals. Fishing and hunting will provide the ingredients these recipes require. While items like flowers and insects can be used in alchemy to brew medicines that enhance your combat capabilities. Other activities, like mining and gathering, will also yield materials for crafting and upgrading your equipment. You can also craft more advanced and specialized tools with valuable resources you uncover on your journey. Shaping your daily life in Pywell also extends to customizing your character. At camp, you can adjust hairstyles and tattoos, as well as your outfits using dyes. A wide variety of dyes can be discovered throughout the world or brewed through alchemy, so experiment with the different color combinations available. And that wraps up the Crimson Desert Features Overview series. We've explored Pywell and its stories and characters, the combat and progression, and the activities that make up life in Crimson Desert. We hope that this series has given you a better understanding of the game. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in Pywell.
The world ended long ago. We just...
Darkcraft is a dark fantasy MMORPG that combines large-scale online play with Souls-like combat built around timing, stamina management, and high-risk encounters. Players can explore dangerous regions, hunt bosses, join guilds, and engage in both cooperative and PvP battles where defeat may cost valuable loot. The game also features live Game Master interventions that can trigger events, control enemies, or appear as bosses, adding unpredictability to each session.
Nameless warriors die so that legends may live. Silence breaks, and he awakens.
Exodus is a sci-fi action-adventure RPG where players control June Aslan, known as the Traveler, during a conflict between humanity and the Celestials far in the future. Gameplay involves interstellar missions to recover celestial remnants, real-time combat against creatures and rival factions, and squad-based support from companions with unique abilities. A time dilation system alters the state of the world between missions, making player decisions affect future conditions and long-term progression.
Child of Orion, fulfill the purpose for which you were crafted, and seize your destiny.
Our world is dying. You are the only one who can wield celestial tech and find a cure. Well, that's terrifying.
With the right ship and the right crew, you could save all of us.
I was on an alien world. Felt like I was finally doing what I was made for.
Thank you, June.
We are the defenders of Leiden's future. And we will fight to protect it.
The fight for survival has consequences. How far are you willing to venture? How much are you willing to sacrifice to save your world?
Damn, kid. No pressure there.
Thou shalt not kill. So the priests tell us.
Chronicles Medieval is a sandbox action strategy game set in a dynamic medieval Europe, where players create a character and rise through warfare and leadership. Gameplay combines melee combat with large-scale army command, allowing players to recruit troops, manage resources, and lead sieges and field battles. Players can also build and defend castles while engaging in diplomacy and economic systems, with cooperative play supporting shared battles and strategic progression across the evolving campaign.
I became like them. I took up the sword, prayed I could win redemption through my deeds. But some paths, once taken, have only one ending. I shall find no peace. On this road, there is only death. But that's just my story. Go write your own.
LEGO Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight is an action-adventure set in an open-world Gotham City, where players control Bruce Wayne's rise into the role of Batman. Gameplay combines hand-to-hand combat, stealth, detective mechanics, and vehicle traversal, using Batmobiles and Batcycles. Players complete story missions and side activities while encountering major villains and working with allies such as Robin and Batgirl, with the signature LEGO-style shaping puzzles and environmental interactions throughout the city.
Let's get to work.
Who are you?
I think we can help each other.
This town deserves a better class of criminal.
Good evening, Gotham. Join us in a celebration of absolute chaos!
Someone's gotta step up!
Let's get to the root of the problem.
We don't do that.
Sorry.
Tonight's forecast, a freeze is coming.
This is my favorite part.
The Wayward Realms is an open-world fantasy RPG set across a large island archipelago where players create a fully custom character and build influence among competing factions. Gameplay supports first-person combat, dungeon crawling, spell creation, and dynamic faction politics shaped by player actions. A virtual game master system adjusts quests and world events based on decisions, while procedural generation and large populated cities aim to support varied playstyles, such as mercenary, noble, or outlaw.
Lady Ravensworth, stepmother to the local baron in search of information.
Rumors have been circulating of strange occurrences around the tomb of Lord Godsend, a former rival to the Baron who met his end at our own hands. We were sent to seek out Niles, an informant for the Order of Saint Latra. But it seems the door is locked. There must be another way in. Not the friendly sort. Maybe he just needs a little convincing. Excellent. We have the information we need. Now let's be on our way. We have our goal, but there will be some obstacles in the way. It is up to us how we wish to achieve it. Combat. Stealth. Magic. Or using our wits and knowledge. Of course, sometimes that might not be enough. I'm sorry. You say you would rather just spend your time fishing?
Varsapura is an open-world action RPG set in a rain-soaked metropolis inspired by Singapore, where players join the Supernatural Enforcement and Administration League to investigate the spread of mind rot. Gameplay features fast, real-time combat with character switching and an umbrella-based weapon that supports both melee and ranged attacks. Players drive through city districts, conduct stealth and psychological investigations, and enter distorted dimensions where reality manipulation and environmental hazards shape encounters.
Real. Me.
You lost belongings due to mind rot? Please visit that counter over there. Mind rot control.
All right, thanks.
How can I help you?
I'd like to join SEAL.
Okay. You'll need to go through the interview process first. This is your application form. Read the instructions and sign to confirm. Once you sign, we'll verify your consciousness. This may cause slight discomfort. Let me see. Consciousness verification completed, preparing the interview. Your number I-07. They'll call it out through the announcement system, so please pay attention. It may take a moment. This area is open to visitors. Feel free to look around while you wait.
Although organic matter is more resistant to decomposition, mind rot can severely affect mental health. If exposed, seek medical help immediately. Rest assured, our MRB officers will clear affected areas and reverse the mind rot's effect on your property. Welcome. You're about to observe the process of mind rotting. Note the black substance seeping from the object. This is mind rot.
Number I-07, please proceed to the interview room. Down the hall on the left of the front desk.
Here for an interview?
Yeah, hi,
Well, isn't that something? They really hit the jackpot with candidates like us. Come on, take a seat. There's only so many safety brochures to leaf through. Grab a chair, let's chat for a bit. This whole Shadow Bureau seems so shady. Everyone says they're strict about hiring, but there's no clear standards. They don't even accept resumes. I didn't even know how to prepare. But it's not like I have no experience, you know? I've watched Mindbog murders and Shadow Boys several times. Nothing I can't handle.
What's up with the lights?
What do you think is the better pick? Rescue Brigade or SUN?
Did you see that?
Maybe the Brigade? My girlfriend thinks they're hot.
What happened? Hello?
Hello?
Yet another hollow one.
A hollow one? What?
Your straw-filled mind wanders the wasteland inside. Still, you're haunted by a nameless lie. You don't know who you are. I see your true self. You're no hero. I'd say average at best. An officer has come to collect you.
Hello. I'm a shuttle patrol officer, Sayuki. Congratulations on passing the interview. Follow me.
The interview? That guy was an interviewer?
He's a well-regarded senior member of the Shadow Bureau. We call him Mr. Shadow. He interviewed me too, back when I first started. Mr. Shadow has a keen eye for people, so if you got in, it means you've got his seal of approval.
Why can't I see anything?
Just a minor precaution. The Bureau's interior can't be perceived by outsiders. But you can still see me, right? Just stick close. Vivian! I didn't see you there. Yeah, it's nothing. I'm just used to taking notes. Hey, don't judge a book by its cover.
Were you talking about me?
She often teases newcomers. Don't worry about it. If your onboarding goes well, you'll prove her wrong. Looks like a meeting's in progress. Wait just a moment. What's this meeting about? Code Red. Sun's gonna have their hands full. Go ahead without me. I need to take this newcomer to the test chamber. Excuse me? Passing through. Excuse me? Sorry. The meeting rooms in this old building are way too small. This place always gets crowded whenever there's a meeting.
Every slain demon is another unheard prayer. Hantry reavers scour the yet fertile land.
Ad Mortem is a medieval melee action game set in the dark world of Contrara, where players take the role of immortal warriors called Vessels. Gameplay features skill-based sword combat in both first and third-person perspectives across competitive PvP modes and cooperative dungeon runs. Players fight in faction battles, duels, and team objectives while managing sanity during dungeon encounters, with progression tied to mastering combat mechanics and unlocking new weapons and cosmetic gear.
Hi everyone, long time no see. I'm Giru and I'm the project lead for Ad Mortem. Thank you for taking the time to check out our Kickstarter trailer and I hope you enjoyed it. Ad Mortem is a passion project, many years in the making, and we are incredibly excited to finally share it with you. We would love for you to go and check out our Kickstarter page, see what Ad Mortem is all about, and please consider backing the project to help bring it to life. Every bit of contribution, any support, whether big or small, means the world to us. There is a dev blog coming very soon as well, so please stay tuned for more updates as the campaign unfolds. I want to thank you for your continued support, and I want to thank you on behalf of the Ad Mortem team, and I want to invite you to join us on the journey ahead. Thank you.
Fable is an open-world action RPG set in Albion, where players create and customize a hero whose reputation changes based on their actions. Gameplay combines melee, ranged, and magic combat against creatures such as hobs, Bolverines, and trolls, alongside activities like property ownership, jobs, and relationships with townsfolk. Player decisions influence how characters react and how parts of the world respond, linking role-playing choices directly with progression and social systems. Blackfrost: The Long Dark 2 is a survival sandbox set after a global blackout, where players try to endure harsh conditions in the city of Harmont and surrounding wilderness. Gameplay centers on resource management, shelter building, and dealing with threats such as extreme weather, wildlife, and the radioactive Blackfrost. Players can survive solo or in cooperative play, while systems like Will to Live and Permalife add psychological pressure and long-term consequences to each character's progression.
So book a stay at our resort now. Stroll through lush parks.
Streets of Rogue 2 is an open-world RPG sandbox where players attempt to overthrow a corrupt president using a wide range of approaches. Gameplay supports combat, stealth, hacking, farming, building, and social manipulation across a large procedurally generated map with destructible environments and AI-driven characters. Players can choose or create different classes with unique traits, use vehicles and gadgets, and play solo or cooperatively, while systems-driven interactions create varied outcomes each session.
This is unbelievable, and we still don't have a release date?
Streets of Rogue 2 is coming to Steam Early Access in 2025. Hopefully. Certainly before GTA 6.
The announcement. The Rotor Laboratory, on behalf of the government, assures that none of the bacteriological attacks will harm citizens' health.
Rooted is a post-apocalyptic survival game set in an overgrown world where players scavenge the ruins of a collapsed civilization after a global bacteriological disaster. Gameplay centers on salvaging materials, crafting tools, building and upgrading camps, and establishing secondary outposts while managing threats from wildlife and other survivors. Players can progress alone or in cooperative and PvP sessions with systems that allow repairing old technology, automating base functions, and adapting to hazardous urban zones.
It is crucial to have your ID card with you at all times in case of control. For safety reasons, the Army has deployed autonomous civilian security robots. They are here to protect you.
My dear children, I write this letter to you as testimony of my undying love.
Solasta II is a turn-based tactical RPG set in the land of Neokos, where players create and guide a party of 4 adventurers against the threat of Shadowman. Gameplay is based on the SRD 5.2 rule set, using dice-driven mechanics for attacks, spells, and skill checks. Players manage party composition, positioning, and abilities during grid-based battles while traveling across the world map, completing quests, and developing characters through classes, ancestries, and equipment upgrades.
You should have saved her.
She deserves the peace of death.
What an interesting family you must have.
Is that fear I sense? Good.
Stay in the light. Never give into darkness. Your loving mother, Mahin.
Port Desire. A city that don't belong to anyone, but everyone wants a piece.
No Law is a first-person cyber-noir action RPG set in the port city of Port Desire, where players control former soldier Gray Harker. Gameplay supports both stealth and direct combat approaches using firearms, tactical gadgets, and vertical movement across the city. Player decisions during missions lead to different outcomes and character reactions, while progression involves unlocking military upgrades and navigating story-driven encounters throughout the open urban environment.
But desire is a fickle mistress. The city won't let me go. It won't forget my name. I asked for nothing, and they still came and took everything. The mayors and anyone that stands in my way, every last one of them. They're gonna learn something real simple.
deep in the woods, in the home of a solitary woodcutter.
The Relic First Guardian is an action RPG set in the ruined land of Arsiltis, where players collect relics that grant passive effects and shape character builds. Combat uses cooldown-based skills and a stamina system reserved for defense and dodging rather than attacking. Encouraging aggressive playstyles, players choose from multiple weapon types and skill trees while facing numerous boss encounters, with progression tied to equipping unique gear items that each carry their own history and combat properties.
It was neither a curse nor a punishment. It was a story of someone who lost the sky. Even now.
May! You there?
Cthulhu: The Cosmic Abysses is a first-person investigative adventure set in 2053, where players control Noah, an occult investigator sent to examine a silent mining station in the Pacific. Gameplay revolves around gathering clues, solving complex puzzles, and working with an AI companion named Key while navigating the sunken city of Relic. A sanity system pressures decision-making as cosmic entities influence the environment, and branching narrative paths allow different outcomes based on how players interpret evidence and handle encounters.
Hugh, look! What's this?
That's the Earth.
Pragmata is a science fiction action-adventure that follows Hugh and his android partner Diana inside a lunar research station in the near future. Gameplay centers on coordinated third-person shooting and real-time hacking mechanics, requiring players to manage combat while using Diana's abilities to disable enemy defenses. The duo must cooperate to navigate hostile areas, solve system-based obstacles, and survive encounters, with progression driven by mastering the balance between gunplay, positioning, and quick hacking decisions.
When I was young, I was in an orphanage. I was a lot like you. I had a few bumps along the way. But I had someone looking out for me. And now it's your turn.
Removal time exceeding estimates. Deploying reinforcements.
What in the...
Trying to keep your head low.
Tides of Tomorrow is a narrative adventure set on the ocean world of Elend after a global flood. Players explore floating locations, gather resources, and search for a cure to a deadly plastification threat. A standout feature is its social system, where choices made by friends or streamers can influence your own story. With character-driven decisions and exploration at its core, the game focuses on adapting to an unpredictable world shaped by both your actions and others.
But the Tidewalkers are a light of hope.
You have no memory of me.
Alongside Naya, I shall send you on an expedition to find the Maelstrom, the key to humanity's salvation. Will you worship Vu and follow the mystics? Are her intentions pure? Will you unveil the truth behind the mystic mysteries? In the meantime, check out the Tides of Tomorrow Steam demo to experience online story link for yourself.
コンビニの仕事って毎日同じで
inKONBINI One Store. Many Stories is a cozy, narrative, slice-of-life game set in a small Japanese convenience store in the early 1990s. Players take the role of Makoto, completing simple store tasks while building relationships with regular customers through branching conversations. The focus is on everyday moments, light management, and character-driven storytelling. Choices made during interactions gradually reveal personal stories and shape how the neighborhood narrative unfolds.
そんなことの積み重ねで気づけばいつものシフトがちょっとした冒険みたいになってた
眠らないこの場所で今日もまた誰かの日常が
Never been to jail. Tell niggas that I'm in here to jail.
Who is she? She may be some minor Earth hero.
Invincible VS is a 3v3 tag team fighting game set in the Invincible universe, featuring fast, brutal combat across iconic locations. Players build teams of popular characters and use combos, supers, and ultimates to dominate matches. The game includes a cinematic story mode, arcade and training options, plus competitive multiplayer. With its focus on aggressive team-based battles and defensive timing, it aims to deliver a stylish superhero fighting experience.
You want to skate?
Control Resonant is an action-adventure RPG where players control Dylan Faden during a paranatural crisis spreading across Manhattan. Combat combines a shape-shifting melee weapon with elemental powers, while environmental manipulation and gravity anomalies influence both fights and puzzles. The progression system allows abilities to evolve based on player decisions. As reality distorts under a cosmic threat, the story tracks Dylan's struggle to understand his powers and uncover the dangers overwhelming the city.
Creative director of Control Resonant, the game-changing sequel to Control. What you are seeing here is an early mission captured from our in-development build. We play as Dylan Faden, our supernaturally gifted hero, in a version of Manhattan like you haven't seen before. We recently acquired Shift, an ability that empowers Dylan to seamlessly move through gravity anomalies and adapt to the world around him. Here we are showcasing a set of different forms of Dylan's main weapon, the Aberrant, can take, and his supernatural abilities. There are a lot of different ones you can discover to suit your playstyle. While in combat, we encourage you to play aggressively, balancing between melee attacks and abilities.
Any updates for me?
Kind of. You'll know it when you hear it. Just try to stay alive out there, okay?
Almost there, Zoe. What the hell is that thing? I hear something. I know where the Resonant is, Zoe. I'll call you back.
Resonants are the dominant threat in what's our most ambitious game to date. And we can't wait to share it with you later in 2026.
Shadowman Darque Legacy is an action horror adventure where players control Jack Boniface, a new Shadowman tasked with protecting the boundary between life and death. Gameplay centers on challenging melee combat against cultists and supernatural creatures, supported by RPG-like progression that unlocks new skills and weapons. Players shift between the live side and the dead side to solve environmental puzzles and confront bosses, while the narrative tracks a growing supernatural threat tied to the Shadowman legacy. Mariachi Legends is a pixel art combat-focused Metroidvania where players control Detective Pablo Cruz after he makes a pact with death and gains the ability to transform into La Sombra. Gameplay revolves around fast, parry-based combat, weapon variety, and ability upgrades while investigating a series of killings in Santa Mascota. A dual map system with changing day, night, and full moon conditions alters areas and enemies, encouraging revisits while players gather clues and grow stronger. Deep Rock Galactic Rogue Corps is a 1 to 4 player co-op FPS roguelite spin-off where elite dwarven reclaimers battle through procedurally generated mining facilities overrun by core spawn. Each mission begins with basic gear, and players build powerful loadouts on the fly by scavenging weapons, upgrades, and expedite resources. With rising mission difficulty, heavy teamwork focus, and persistent progression between runs, the game expands the Deep Rock formula into a more run-based, high-pressure experience. Phantom Blade Zero is an action RPG that blends classic wuxia storytelling with fast, stylish combat. You play as Soul, a warrior framed for murder and given only 66 days to live, forcing him to uncover a deadly conspiracy while fighting relentless enemies. The game features intense martial arts combat, multiple weapon styles, and cinematic presentation powered by Unreal Engine 5, delivering a dark, story-driven journey focused on skill-based battles and evolving techniques.
Near that place, at least not anymore. But you, if my dark misfortune.
I knew it. You'd never break so easily. But why did you come back?
The Order's blades are coming. They failed once, but they won't fail again.
Please, take it. Save our people. The girl's nothing but a shell now. She'll never be the same.
You broke my blade. But we broke your spirit!
Phantom is movement, striking from where none expect. Blade
his breath, we channel it into steel, turning any blade into a divine weapon. When Phantom and Blade unite, no enemy stands.
Sometimes the best thing you can do is pick a goal and move towards it. You might have no idea how to get where you want to go. You might have no idea where you are when it comes to accomplishing it.
Outward 2 is an open-world action RPG that emphasizes survival, preparation, and realism over power fantasy. Set in the dangerous world of Ori, you play as an ordinary adventurer who must manage hunger, weather, fatigue, and equipment while facing deadly threats. The game focuses on meaningful choices, flexible class building, and strategic combat rather than hand-holding, creating a grounded and demanding journey where careful planning and smart decisions are key to staying alive.
Character creator and choosing different elements of my backstory, which altered my starting stats, the RPG standard strength, agility, constitution, intelligence, and willpower. My journey started in the city of Habub, which has been recently reclaimed from the Scourge. I don't know what that means exactly, but it sounded good. Anyway, my recently arrived character won the housing lottery when a guy named Sebastian decided to move. Here I was, less than 5 minutes into the game and already a homeowner. Talk about a fantasy. We chatted before he left and he seemed nice enough, and then I headed out to explore the city. Habub is gorgeous, a multi-layered city of stone with these giant rotating fans. There's one in my house, near the bed, and I enjoyed walking around for a bit, grabbing an on-the-house, pun intended, drink at the local tea shop and enjoying the vibe. Outward 2 isn't the most visually sophisticated game out there. The character models kinda look like they stepped out of an Xbox 360 era Bethesda RPG, but its environments are pretty grand. After wandering around for a bit and speaking to the local chamber lord who hands over the deed to my new house, I call it a night. There's not much else to do. I'm woken when a guard breaks in and tries to rob me, rude, and whacks me in the head with a mace. Sebastian shows up to kill him, takes whatever it is, and then places the pistol he used to take care of the guard in my hand. At least he looks sorry about it, but because all the evidence of the murder points to me, I'm exiled with little more than what's in my possession. The Chamber Lord suggests I find Sebastian to prove my innocence. Outward 2 is a survival game, which means I need to find, craft, or buy my supplies. Out in the world, there's nothing to guide you. I had no map and no leads. The only thing around was a big dead bird under what looked like some sort of mystical lamppost. I decided to head east, always into the east. I got into a couple of fights, one of which was against a dude that really didn't seem to want to be there. Outward's combat isn't going to blow anyone away, but it's weighty and generally pretty solid. I'm doing alright even though I only have an ice pick and a bow I picked up in the city until I fall into a small rocky hole. I can't walk or roll out of it, and Outward 2 has no jump button. I end up starting a new run. I ran into a lot of bugs in my time with my preview build of Outward 2. Items would duplicate or not be usable, characters would float in midair, and so on, but that's to be expected of something this early. I tried to use it as an opportunity. This time I spent more time in Habub because I knew I was going to get kicked out, found some new people to talk to, and was generally better equipped when I was framed for murder. Again. I just bought a house in real life, so I was particularly upset about this. How dare this dude? Who does he think he is? But I was lucky in other ways. Remember that dead bird from last time? In its place, I found a woman named Elile, who helped me out by offering me some supplies, including a tent and a map, and told me where I might find Sebastian. There were a couple of possibilities. I opted to head northeast to the true Levantines. Even with my supplies, life wasn't easier. Drinking river water made me sick to my stomach, and my ice pick wasn't a force in combat. I scavenged enough wood to build a shield, and mostly tried to avoid fights. Even the map wasn't much help. Oh yeah, it was nice to see what the region looked like, but the map doesn't track where you are, so, it works like a real map. Outward 2 was willing to let you get lost, and I appreciated that. This time, I didn't fall into a hole. Instead, I got a special little sequence because I died near a river and washed up on its banks, my gear close by, minus my tent. Soon after, I spotted the weird ghost and tried to pick a fight. That was a bad idea. Not only could I barely hurt him with my ice pick, he never stopped following me when I tried to run away. So I followed the path I was on, the specter hot on my heels, until I just happened to run into the true Levantine settlement and the guards finished him off for me. No sign of Sebastian, but I had a lead. South. Okay. Then I got back on the road and died a whole bunch. I died to a big bird. I died to a weird bat thing. I fell over once and died. I died because I bled out. Each time I was rescued, sometimes by a nice guy named Gep, who I never met, but left me a drink at his campfire, sometimes by the healers at the Levantine camp. Eventually, I decided it was time to buy a sword. I sold what little I had, and from there, things got easier. I made progress south. I found a weird tower where everything wanted to kill me. I killed an exiled mercenary and stole his tent. Ha! I explored a weird little cave and did some mining. At this point, I was rolling, and I figured I'd keep going until I died. Then I ran into one of those weird bat things again, and that was that. 3 hours had flown by. Outward 2 doesn't hold your hand, and I admire that. Exploring its gorgeous world is a lot of fun. I wish it was a little less buggy, and I wish that there was a little bit more to do in a world that can sometimes feel big and empty. Gathering materials in the areas I explored was difficult, and I didn't get to craft as much as I wanted. But I did enjoy just picking a direction, setting off into the world, and seeing what I could see. There's something special in that, and if the full release of Outward 2 can capture it, it might just make you want to go for a stroll. For more, check out our previews of Greedfall 2 and Neo 3, and for everything else in games, keep it here.
Halloween is an asymmetrical horror game set on the infamous night in Haddonfield. Players can either become Michael Myers, stalking victims through shadows, or take the role of survivors trying to warn the town and escape alive. The game blends stealth, survival, and multiplayer tension with a cinematic single-player mode. With dynamic encounters and realistic visuals, it aims to deliver a tense cat-and-mouse horror experience driven by player choices. Avatar Legends: The Fighting Game is a fast-paced 1v1 fighter based on the beloved Avatar universe. Players battle using fan-favorite characters, with hand-drawn 2D visuals that stay true to the original series style. The game focuses on smooth online play with rollback netcode and full cross-play support. Featuring a new flow system and multiple modes, it aims to deliver responsive, competitive fights for both newcomers and experienced players.
Every voyage begins with a plan.
Ahoy is a multiplayer naval adventure set in the late 18th century Caribbean. Players command detailed ships, manage both player and AI crew, and sail across the West Indies in a historically grounded world. The game blends trade, exploration, and tactical naval combat, where wind and seamanship matter. With cooperative and competitive play, every decision shapes your reputation and influence in a living Age of Sail sandbox.
What others fear. Death and dishonor, fame and fortune. The life of a sea captain is one of duty and relentless pursuit. True riches are not in gold and jewels, but in the stories we bring back, and the legend we become. But never at our final destination. So we chart our next course. We sail We fight. We endure. For the voyage is life. And life is the voyage.
Hello and welcome to Port Royal, Jamaica, the vibrant heart of the West Indies in the year 1780. I'm Tyler, lead developer at Capstan Games, and today we're thrilled to set sail with you on an extraordinary voyage to the 18th century age of sail. With our project, Ahoy! Ahoy is a first-person, multiplayer naval experience rooted in real history, built to capture the thrill, beauty, and brutality of the age of sail. This isn't fantasy. There's no monsters or magic, just the salt air, billowing canvas, and roaring cannon fire. It's a world that we believe deserves a place in modern gaming, one that's often overlooked, Hollywoodized, or simplified.
Is dying. And my only way out of here.
Judas is a narrative-driven sci-fi shooter set aboard a collapsing starship. You play as the troubled Judas, forced to build or betray uneasy alliances to survive the chaos. The game focuses on player choice, relationship-driven storytelling, and immersive first-person action. As tensions rise and systems fail, every decision shapes how the story unfolds and whether the mission and your future can be saved.
People say I have this coming.
He was trying to lure us into the house.
6 Days in Fallujah is a realistic first-person tactical shooter inspired by true events from the Second Battle of Fallujah. The game focuses on authentic urban warfare, where teamwork, planning, and careful movement are essential to survival. Players lead AI or human fire teams through unpredictable, procedurally generated missions. With its grounded approach and documentary-style storytelling, the experience aims to recreate the intensity and uncertainty of modern combat.
I'm next. It's only natural for me to be next. Like, I hope it's quick. Hope it's painless. You start to like plan your own death.
Human Fall Flat 2 expands the physics-driven puzzle platformer formula with new levels, tools, and cooperative challenges. Players guide wobbly characters through interactive environments, solving environmental puzzles by pushing, pulling, climbing, and experimenting with objects. The updated physics engine and refined controls aim to create more dynamic and unpredictable problem-solving moments. Solo play and online co-op support groups of up to 8 players working together to overcome each stage's obstacles.